Hello, everybody. Welcome to Show du Jour. I'm laughing because I've got guys cutting my lawn, and they've been here for about 15 minutes, and I'm sure you can hear them, but they're right outside my window. And what a trigger it is for me right now. It's incredibly ironic. But anyway, welcome to Show du Jour. Pardon the noise in the background. Hopefully, they will be done in a couple minutes. Um, this is episode 6 of number 6. I took a summer pledge. I said I would do 6 shows in 6 weeks, and here we are at show number 6. After this, I've decided to bring the show back. I've decided to bring the show. I can't even hear myself because of the leaf blowers. But we're gonna tweak some things. I've been talking with Renee. We're gonna kind of up some of the production, and it will be coming back at some point. And boy, I cannot wait for them to be gone. Oh my God, horrible timing. But anyway, so yeah, we're going to talk about triggers. And before I get to that, I just kind of want to give a little disclaimer here. I had oral surgery yesterday. I had some work on my gums here, a little puffy, a little swollen, maybe tripping over my tongue a little bit, but I really can't smile, and that's killing me right now. So anyway, the doctor told me to not flap my jaws too much today, which is hard for any Gemini to do. Wait, let me see, John, what you're saying here. Oh no, we don't have to wait because they're almost done. Um, and it's kind of ironic because this is one of my like sound triggers is leaf blowers. So I'm going to work through this trigger for everybody watching live. Okay, so triggers. They're huge, and I know they've been big for a lot of us this past weekend, and I don't know. It just seems like a lot of us are having a harder time. We're getting triggered more. Stuff going on in the media in our world. We just as humans will get triggered. We just will. It doesn't define who we are, but what defines us is how we work with that trigger, our awareness that we're being triggered, and how we work with it. So I'm going to do 3 whats in this episode. What are triggers? What are they for you? I definitely want to know what they are for you. Anybody who's comfortable sharing any of their triggers, because I certainly would like to help if I could. And the third is what to do when we are triggered. What do we do? So to start with, what is a trigger? I think the best way for me to describe it is kind of like with an analogy. This is a true story. Sometimes I think true stories and analogies make the best examples. So this was many, many, many years ago. I was hiking. And Jamie, if you're watching this live or on replay, I was hiking up in Rome, hiking up to the House of Dreams. And it's this beautiful long hike. And I saw this very big, long snake. I think they're done with the leaf blowers, ladies and gentlemen. Bye. Anyway, so I saw this long snake in my path. My alarm response went off, of course, because you see a big snake and you're all by yourself. The alarm bells go off, danger, Will Robinson, danger. So my body revved up. I got out of its way. And so that was that. Years later, after that, I'm hiking up a different mountain path, and I see something out of the corner of my eye, and I jump and I kind of run. And as I look back, I saw that it was a fallen tree branch, and that fallen tree branch resembled enough of that snake that I had seen years ago, but my survival response didn't know the difference. It saw and responded in the same way as if it truly was a snake. So that's really what triggers are. it's a real response. But sometimes the response doesn't quite match what's happening in front of us. And sometimes it does. But I just want to see if that is making sense to people. And I'd also kind of like to know, does anybody have their own definition of what a trigger is for you? It is a real response, whether it's a real threat or a perceived threat. We still need to take that response just as seriously. And Jon, I see you're tagging a lot there. I haven't seen comments come up yet. Just don't mind me here as I scroll, because I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Hello, Madeline. Hello. You guys, Madeline sent me the funniest planner stickers, because I have one of these old-fashioned planners, and she sent me the funniest stickers. I can't smile now. Facebook user, yeah, ouch. Yeah, I'm gonna guess, is this Tom again? When I used to do videos outside, someone would start leaf blowing or cutting down a tree. Oh man. That's funny. That is funny. So hello, all you folks out there. Yay, cleaning up at work. Have a great show. Thank you. Cynthia Weaver. Yeah, when I'm triggered, you call your therapist. Absolutely, that is a good thing to do. It's certainly good to talk it through with somebody, whether it's a therapist or kind of getting ahead of my little agenda here, but whatever. I'll sometimes, when I'm triggered, I will talk to somebody who doesn't know the situation. I will talk to somebody who maybe doesn't know the person or people or anything about it. And that way I get a very objective sounding board. And so that certainly helps. Sandy, my triggers are controlling and abusive behaviors. And I'm sure for very good reason, right? I mean, when we get triggered, there's a very good and real reason. We're all just susceptible to that. And it's just the way that our brain is wired. Our brain is wired to survive. And it is designed to keep us safe. And so when we get triggered, there's that sense of, I'm not safe or someone is not safe. But the thing to do about it is, as hard as it is sometimes, is to try to calm the body down. I know for me, and I think for a lot of others too, there's a reason why something like group therapy is so effective. I tend to get triggered in groups of people. And that is based on a very real reason from my past. When I was a little girl, kind of this accumulation of really negative experiences in groups. So that is certainly still a trigger for me as an adult. And I think a lot of us do get triggered in groups. And, in group therapy, you're kind of sitting in a circle and you just start to kind of respond and react to each other, and your own stuff comes up, and it can just be really, really effective in that way. Let's see. Facebook user, I'm currently triggered by being overused at work because we're short-staffed and one of our staff is weak. Keeps happening to me. Yeah, and and even to dive deeper into that, what is that trigger? What is that voice saying? And I think that is really helpful when we can identify, okay, we're getting triggered here. Our body's getting revved up. We're getting upset. What is like that thought underneath that? I think that can be really helpful. So yeah, being triggered at work and then just sort of feeling overused. Yeah, Facebook user, think about that. I know for me, when I get triggered in groups, usually that thought is I'm invisible. That's usually what that thought is. Nobody sees me, nobody hears me, and then the frustration starts to rise. So that is certainly something that when we're getting triggered, to identify what's the thought, what's the fear, what is that belief that isn't necessarily true that is getting uh, the voice, that is just speaking up. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Fred. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I really do. And I'll be bringing the show back, probably in a slightly different format, but the intention is all the same. Some information, some dialogue, some music. Won't be singing today because I can't, but yeah, so triggers. And you all just share your thoughts about it. What is it for you? Are there things about when you're triggered that you struggle with? I certainly would like to know that, because I think that's important. I think when we're triggered, we can sometimes feel alone. We can feel disconnected, and the aim is to work toward feeling connected again, and feeling calm again, and feeling clear. Um, there's something I'd like to share, and I'm almost hesitant because I tend to botch up this explanation. But so you all just bear with me here. Um, I love using this explanation with clients, and we usually get a good laugh because I get things mixed up sometimes. But there's a neuropsychologist, and his name is Dan Siegel, Dr. Dan Siegel. If you Google him, it is Dan and then Siegel. He's all over YouTube with his lectures. But he came up with what he calls the hand model of the brain. And he uses this a lot with kids, with parents, with adults. And I love it because it makes so much sense. So, okay, this is the brain here. It's not proportionately accurate, but here's the brain. This is kind of like the brain stem here. This whole part of the brain we're just going to call emotional brain. And this is where our survival response is embedded, where it lives. And this here, as I fold my fingers over, this is our prefrontal cortex. This is where we can use logic, we reason, we can understand the past, the present, the future. This is where, we are fully online and on board, where we are fully present in the world. So what happens when we get triggered by something? There's a felt threat. Whether it's real or perceived, it is real to us. So what happens is our survival mechanism, the good old amygdala, the little almond in our brain, sends out an all points bulletin. Danger, fight, flee, freeze, or flop. And so what happens is it sends out a signal, and all of the adrenaline, all of these chemicals in the body get revved up to make the body strong to survive. So what happens is there's like a chemical rush. And think about it like electricity. It goes up through the spine, up through the brain stem. There's only a certain amount of space, and it's not an infinite amount, it's a finite amount. So what happens is this starts to get activated. We start to get upset. We're not thinking clearly. And then boom, we flip our lid. We cannot think clearly. We cannot hear what's happening. We can't take anything in. We can't output anything. We flip our lids. It's kind of like a short circuit. I kind of like to look at it like electricity. It's like this surge, and then boom, the circuit blows. So that's what happens when we get triggered. So what do we have to do? We've got to bring this back down And how do we do that other than breathe? And it sounds so stereotypical. We all hear it, just breathe. And it's tricky because when we're panicked or triggered, we tend to breathe from here. We tend to do shallow breathing, and that just makes it worse. So we really have to focus on what's called belly breathing. And before I go into that, I just want to check comments here. Oh, thank you, Lorraine. Hello. Well, I'm glad you're finding this interesting. This is a topic I'm very passionate about because I think if we don't understand what's going on up here, we are not our brains, but our brains are hardwired in a certain way where there's going to be malfunctioning, and then we blame ourselves and we shame ourselves and we feel bad. But really, it's just the way that this old hard drive is wired, and I'm so passionate about that. We just have to have awareness about it. Oh, thank you, Jon. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's always good to see Lorraine up in Michigan. So I would normally do a song right now, but I can't. Doctor told me I can sing tomorrow, but I can't sing today. So just pretend like I sang a song to you all. So there's something called the polyvagal nerve. And I love when science catches up with what we know intuitively and what we know spiritually. What we've known for centuries, science often catches up with that. And there's a lot of books now written about the polyvagal nerve. And it is this large, like it looks like a muscle. It is so big. It kind of starts from the back here, front. It kind of winds all the way down, makes contact with all of the internal organs. And when we send the message to that large nerve that nothing needs to be done but breathe, it instantly starts to go, okay. Instead of being activated into alarm, we send that signal that it is okay. And we do that through breathing from our belly. And this is what ancient yogis have done. And so when you hear about taking deep breaths, that's what that's about. And what I like about all of this information coming out about the polyvagal nerve is that we can use that deep breath and breathe with intention. We know as clear as day that we are calming this nerve down. And that makes it even more powerful and less personal. Again, the alarm response doesn't define us, but what defines us is what we do with it and how we work with it and calm ourselves. And so I just want to breathe with you all. I truly do, and that's how I want to end this episode. But before I do, I see lots of comments here. Hello, Renee. Renee, Superwoman. Oh, always good to see you. Hello, Ruby. Yes. Okay, Ruby. My anxiety attacks seem to start physical reactions in that exact area of my body. Absolutely. That's why the heart pounds. That's why our stomach starts to get upset. That's why we start to maybe feel queasy or nauseous or nervous, whatever it is. Our breathing gets affected. Absolutely. It's because of that nerve. And Google it. You'll see all of these really cool diagrams. This is cool stuff, you guys. And it's so simple to work with. Fred, sometimes what a person needs to truly know is there is a way. Absolutely. And what I love about neuroscience is that it has truly shed light on, oh my God, this really isn't my fault, but I've got to deal with this. And we sort of know how to deal with it. I don't even know if that quite made sense. I hope it did. Troy Moore. Oh, Troy. Well, I can't say, but he's working on a video with somebody, and man, is it cool and funny. Somebody by the name of Lars Nagel. So, yeah. And I just want to say this too. There's a lot of power when we breathe together. Sometimes if I'm working with a client that's starting to get panicked, a memory's coming up or whatever, we will just breathe together. We'll inhale together and exhale together. There's a lot of power in that. There's a lot of spirituality in that, and a lot of energy in that. So let's get that polyvagal nerve on board with just being. So I'm going to put some music on. I have this queued up on my phone. Let's see if you all can hear it. And you don't have to have your eyes closed. That's the beauty of it. You have your eyes open. You could be talking to somebody and doing this. Jon, you don't have to worry about bringing up that image that I sent you. I'll just stay on camera. Just adjusting the volume here. So again, let's say you've been triggered by something. Your survival alarm response, boom, just went off. In order to bring this back online, we're just going to activate the polyvagal nerve, getting into that parasympathetic response where we can be calm to deal with whatever's going on in front of us. So all you need to do is, let's say you're at work, just put one hand on your belly. If you want, you can place one hand over your heart as well. So you've got hand on heart, hand over belly, and you just start breathing from your belly. Like your belly's a balloon and you're filling it with air, and then you just let it out. And you just breathe, filling that belly with air. And then you just breathe out. And it doesn't have to be forced or where you're taking an inhale and it's like, and then you're running out of breath. You don't have to do that. You're just simply kind of watching, feeling your belly fill, expand with air, and then it goes soft and relax. And that's all you have to do is breathe. And the beauty of this is that it doesn't take long. It really doesn't take long. And if it helps while you're belly breathing, just to say, nothing needs to be done but breathe. Those are truly magic words that the body gets. That nerve, that polyvagal nerve gets. Nothing needs to be done but breathe. And that's all that needs to be done but breathe. So just keep breathing from your belly. And I'm just going to say a few more words before we sign off here. And you can do this anytime. And half the time people don't even notice that you've got your hand on your belly. They just think that's just how you're sitting, and you can just simply Fill that belly with air. Carry on conversation. It truly does work. So again, we all get triggered. I think groups trigger us more than anything. And it is a human response, the hardwiring up here. It just happens. But truly nothing needs to be done when you're triggered but breathe. So I want to thank you all for your comments and for tuning in. I can't wait to read what you all have been writing. I look forward to bringing this show back. It'll be a lot of fun. Renee and I are going to powwow about it, and it'll be back, possibly different day, different time. I don't know, but man, am I looking forward to it. And thank you all for tuning in. And remember, be kind to each other. And if you're around somebody that's getting triggered, share that with them about the belly breathing and about the polyvagal nerve. It's human. And feel free then to just breathe with them. So I will see you all at some point in the near future. Bye-bye.